No. We're just going to keep going with it. We're going to do a couple things here. We're talking about how we're going to shift the lift from us to you. And I was just joking in the hall with Mr. Schnall and Mr. Brahim that I should just come in and talk for an hour and a half and then say, good, you guys can do it, right? But no, that's not going to do it. I'm not going to do it that way because that'd be mean. And I'm not going to actually talk for an hour and a half, at least not cogently. So we're going to take a look at some lesson plans. I did my best attempt at a science lesson plan. Mr. Morris, be nice to me in my science lesson plan. And then we're going to watch some game tape of a quick place for this. And we're going to define these things and then basically spend the majority of our time planning for ways that students can take over in different parts of the lesson. So the majority of our time together is going to be time to work with people around you to actually develop some plans where students are doing the thinking, the working, and all those things, and you're doing less of that. So, the first thing you do is look in that packet. That packet has a handout on front just for you to kind of keep your notes. But inside there are 2 lesson plans. You are going to answer some questions. The question I want you to think about and keep up on the board: what action, thinking, and work is required of students in both of these lesson plans? There's an A and a B, one on the front, one on the back. Which lesson is more likely to result in students being able to apply knowledge on a unit test several weeks from now, and why? And then why look at a lesson plan in shifting the ratio to student talk session? So there's 3 things for you to think about. You have an A and a B. They give you about, let's say, 8 minutes to look at this right now, and then we'll share it. So this is independent. We'll look at these till 1:37. Don't get too hung up on the actual science, just what are students doing. dangerous. That's Alright, so what we're going to do now is shift into the same 3 questions. We're shifting into a pair share. So you're going to pair up with the person who's sitting right with you and answer these 3 questions together out loud. Zaria and Connor, you were anti-social, so you have to come together and make a new table. But I think you can handle that question. Alright, you're going to pair up here. Let's take, say, 3 minutes to talk through this, and we'll share the answers out. While we talk to the person you are sitting with. Wolf? Go.
So the first one is usual stuff, very little. They're actually doing stuff. Yep. But the first one looks like the first one is like a good, like some. Like, oh, I'm not gonna be here. Yeah.
Recall information.
Like because we're actually thinking we're requiring students.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. So I use words like so like what this slip is written out on the top and we don't work
Finding
but also
answers together.
Yeah.
supposed to achieve by the end of it.
Probably the second one, because with the second one, they're actually
What actually is required, so the first lesson plan, all this introductory materials happening, play a video and lecture and fill out a blank sheet. So it's like very clear what you're asking.
And then but in P, it's like, oh, reaction to
Fill out
that's what I'm
the
trying to
notebook.
That's
This is like we have to fill out the objective of
By looking at it,
things, and then once you fill it out, then you should be like more clear material, I guess. Yeah, it's I'm choosing to language there. And first, and answer.
And the first one, you guys don't take either. So I feel like if I was using more, I would want to do like a call it happening. Got to fill it.
Practice.
True.
So, the responsible writing
Put on a show for a couple hours.
That's love it. And then group practice,
I will answer that for you.
they get social skills out of it, they memorize stuff.
I can tell you.
That's what I'm
Probably like
trying
learn
to
from their peers.
For like your.
Maybe it's also good because like 3 kids in a group all are struggling with the same family. Can help the teacher realize what something is struggling.
All right, that was 3. Let's bring it back to the front. Can I get a volunteer from one of the groups to share out my answer for the first one here? What action thinking work is required of students in both lesson plans? Let's start with lesson plan A. What's the action thinking required in lesson plan A?
They're copying notes twice, essentially, on paper and flashcards, and then recalling that information when they quiz each other.
And then lesson plan B. What is the action thinking and work required in lesson plan B? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're required to like observe, discover, and try to decide and make connections on their own. And
I
also
said-
write. I said, and also write things.
All right. Everybody writes. And then which lesson is more likely to result in students doing well in a unit test down the road? So which one do we think this is a more opinion?
I think that depends on what your unit test looks like. But on a good unit test that we would want to have fairly after B.
So it depends on the exemplar responses or the guiding questions. But let's assume the best in my science, that my science questions are good at my unit test. So hopefully, why is that the case? So somebody else jump in with why would that be the case? Lesson plan B.
When kids do something kinesthetically like that, and then they actually do it, they tend to retain the information better, and they can apply it.
Repeat that, record that, press replay, and then that'll be what we say.
Can I add one thing?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I was always one of those students.
And Kate's gonna add something.
And they're doing it in context. Where the first one, it's all like these skills in isolation, and it's much easier to like internalize something in context.
Exactly. And then the second question is we're talking about a session that's designed about teacher talk versus student talk, right? So why are we looking at a plan? So why look at a lesson plan in this situation? This third question.
So that you can best prepare them to talk by providing them with a lesson plan that enables them to kinesthetically learn the lesson and then be able to talk about it rather than just like throwing questions at them.
Perfect. Do you have anything to add here? I really have nothing to add to what you guys said. You guys know this. Once, twice, still. All right. So now this is a lesson about student talk. So we'll watch a game clip of some live action student talking here. Just a short one, 2 minutes. And then I want you to think about these 2 questions here. What teacher and student actions does Ms. Eckberg plan for to allow students to take ownership of this portion of class? And why will this help all of the students in class improve their skill? So this is everyone's favorite portion of class. We're going over the do now. And this is how it happens. Here's a picture of me walking through. Oh, that's okay.
Number 3 is B. Number 4 is C. Number 5. Yeah, oh, number 5 is C. Number 5 is C. Number 6 is D. And number 7 is 55. Great. Are there any questions on any of those? Repeats? Yeah. Great. Yeah, any repeats?
No, it's not repeat, but maybe go over number 1.
Repeats and repeats. Number 3 is D. Sam? Okay, so I want you to write down on your table to talk to them about the ones you got wrong and see if someone at your table got them right and explain to them. You're gonna get 1 minute, go.
Take a couple minutes to kind of digest that. It's a very short clip, but it's that do now part, and talk about the musician question. All right, same thing as before, meet up with your groups, take a minute right now to share out your answers to the questions.
Explain it, instead of explaining it yourself. I think this possible. It has, so you get to meet in good in instead of following along a class.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I like that. Part.
well,
You're sharing out first.
Guys, a quick question. That student is getting answers now from their work or from like
clarifying questions so they wouldn't work in their pods and spend that time asking more questions.
yeah, okay, that's great.
And I guess this wasn't the video.
All right, let's come back and share our whole group. We're going to start with Adam sharing out because he had some really good points there. He's got to share out. I overheard him saying good stuff, so he's got to share out.
So first of all, it's always better to have more heads on a discussion than just your own. As smart as you may be, it's always good to get other people's perspectives and thoughts on answers to questions. Just